So we've looked into Noelle, now it's Charmy's turn. So, looking at my girl Charmy, the Halloween, the seasonal. Wait, I just realized Halloween. Oh yeah. Anywho, so her first skill is single attack, inflicts burn on an enemy dealing continuous damage for 2 turns. Now the Greymoor actually affects skill 1 this time around. If an enemy is under the pumpkin pie effect, inflicts stun. Now we'll get into what the pumpkin pie effect is because that's the big seller for Charmy herself. Second skill. If an enemy is under the pumpkin pie effect, applies Halloween firecrackers. By the way, the second skill is AoE, so that's beautiful. Halloween firecrackers instantly activates the pumpkin pie effect and then removes it. Again, now we're going to get into the pumpkin pie effect, so the ultimate is stacked up. Alright, so the ultimate, it is single target, applies the pumpkin pie effect to an enemy, so this is where it all kicks off. Pumpkin pie. When 5 turns pass after applying this effect, inflict 600% of attack and magic attack as damage dealt and then removes it. After applying it at the start of every turn, increase damage dealt by pumpkin pie. If an enemy under this effect starts their turn, transfer the pumpkin pie effect to a random teammate on their side. Inflicts continuous burn damage on the enemy to whom pumpkin pie has been transferred to for 2 turns. If an enemy is under the pumpkin pie effect, inflict burn on them for 2 turns. Yeah, this Charmy is something else. Of course, this Charmy is one of the burn meta units, one of the good ones, should I say. Not to say that none of them are bad, but no, she's, if you're interested into the burn meta team, then of course Charmy is up there. But that ultimate is pretty cracked out. The pumpkin pie, the amount of damage that this attack can really do, regardless of, I mean, well, we've seen pumpkin pie on the tournament. So there was a tournament match, someone had their Charmy, they applied the pumpkin pie and they one-shot Julius. It was that powerful. Alright, so obviously with the Charmy and how she's going to be working, it really is going to be that effect. And the fact that that can bounce around too to other teammates, that's also, I guess, pretty scary. Now, going furthermore, she once again has the Barrow Dispel and the combination skill, that's cool. Now when it comes to the passives themselves, unique passive, which is getting her to LR, she has immortality. So she ain't going anywhere. If worse comes to worse and she takes damage, she's going to make sure that her pumpkin pie does something rather than nothing by having the immortality play going on there. Now, the burn meta truly does come into play when it comes to getting her dupes. So LR plus 2, when pumpkin pie is removed, applies 2 burn stacks to all enemies for 2 turns. LR plus 5, when pumpkin pie is removed, applies 2 burn stacks to all enemies for 2 turns. At the start of the turn, apply burn to a random enemy for 2 turns. So, if you are truly invested into the burn meta, now that of course recently we had Leona coming about, and you guys have seen how she's working, and then of course after Charmy, Magna will also be a thing for global at a later time for the burn meta. But if you are invested, then yeah, duping out Charmy is going to be vital to just stack a tremendous amount of burns quite easily, you know. So that's pretty much Charmy in a nutshell and how she's working. It is that pumpkin pie that people are loving to the point where it is putting units 6 feet under. Alrighty, so when it comes to Charmy and how I like to set her up is clearly we like to go about with making sure that obviously we have got the attack gear set on. Clearly that's going to be a must as she is an attacking unit. And then from that, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys know where this is going to be leading into. Crit rate and crit damage, again, just bumping up the magic attack, of course. So that's, I mean, just imagine if this is magic attack, not attack. I mean, well, then again, it does work off from the, what you call it, the pumpkin pie effect, so that's not too bad. But anyway, yeah, essentially, this is going to be the route that I will be taking. Again, I don't have any magic attack. Oh my god, I've got 4 of these. No magic attacks. Okay, that's fine. And then that last slot, I'll, again, do magic attack gear set. But essentially, attack, crit rate, crit damage, this is pretty much what I would be working with. And then again, the accessory side of things, the way I would have to work it is defense would go there, and then I would probably do crit rate, crit damage, or maybe double up on the crit damage on either sides for the accessories as the main stats. And essentially this would be it for Charmy. Now if I was going aside and going with the PvP route, I would probably take off the crit damage and I would probably put in speed, so then it would be attack, crit rate and speed. I think that would be the outcome on building up Charmy, just to get that damage off. I mean, the thing is that there are some people that also like to build her in that defense manner, because obviously with the pumpkin effect, the more turns that it's being played around with, or the more turns that it's active on the enemy, obviously the better the outcome, damage wise of course. So I mean, also giving CHARMY that bit of defense, I mean that would also be advisable. You know, I've seen a few people run around doubling up on their defense to get that plus 30%. I believe it's plus 30% if you run 2 of the gold sets of defense. So again, you can go down that route, but I typically always go I just go for the damage. But yeah, I do like my damage, I will say. But when it comes to the substats, again, I'm full on the offensiveness, of course. I just realized I got lucky with the defense plus when you transcend it. Anyway, regardless, that's actually pretty clutch. Yeah, I mean, you can go with the magic attack. And then again, if you guys want to build the attack, you can do so. Go with the crit rate, crit damage, of course. Again, if you do want to build and give her that little bit more defense, you can also consider going for the defense substats again, just to keep her alive, keep her around, so that that pumpkin pie effect could practically OHKO, or whenever you want to activate it sooner than later, you can then use, of course, utilize that skill 2 coming into play. But again, I'm more for the damage side of things. But yeah, that's pretty much the gear builds for CHARMY in a nutshell. So with the talents, again, it's going to be magic attack, crit rate, but at times I do opt out for the crit damage and damage dealt if I am running my crit rate set, of course. So those are the, I mean, it really depends on the sets that you're going with. I mean, if you're not going for the crit damage or crit rate, then of course you're just going to resort to the magic attack plus 7 and yeah, the battle frenzy. Defense, yeah, simple as increase. I mean, to be honest, you don't really need to change it when it comes to defense. Just keep it on the 2 that's already on, and then again you can keep it on the 2 that's already on in this part. Yeah, you don't really need that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so it's just going to be the fairly simple increased damage resistance and swiftness. I just realized I don't really speak about the middle pieces, do I? So, oh god, my apologies. I should really... Okay, so for the carved stone slot, I mean, if you want to go down the route and buff up the magic attack and the regular attack, that, you know, you can go about doing that. And then of course on the defense, again, just buffing up a defense. I mean, realistically, it's going to be the attack slot that you really want to focus on to get done. When it comes to Noelle, I'm going to throw this in here right now, which is kind of weird, but yeah. Anyway, with Noelle, with the middle slot, you want to put in the her defense up, and then over on the support slot, you want to put her crit resistance up. So that's going to be the key focus on the talents that you want to completely max out. So Noelle is going to be the defense. If you want to do the support, you can. And then for CHARMY, clearly it's going to be the attack. And then when it comes to CHARMY's Greymore, so her passive, when attacking a target inflicted with burn, there is a 10% if you max it out, 100% chance to recover, 20% if you max it out, 100% of your max health. This is a bit of a bonus for her. I mean, then again, this works perfectly for the fire meta team, since you're working with burn. And if you can max this out, then I mean that's free maximum health right there, right? I just realized this would be absolutely insane right now when it comes to Mereoleona. Damn, I don't have it. Like, I mean, her being on the team, that is. Yeah, fun fact, I don't have CHARMY's Greymore, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, there we go. That's CHARMY. I'm just gonna throw this in here. When it comes to working on the skills, basically with CHARMY, it's basically, I mean, it's all the same. So obviously, make sure your ultimate is done up so you get the maximum damage output. If that's something that you want to do, work on the skills itself. I would honestly say do the, I mean, yeah, the ultimate then the first skill, I'd say, because I mean that second skill realistically is essentially the trigger for pumpkin pie. I haven't really put much levels into the second skill. It's just the first skill and the ultimate that I've been really focusing heavily on, because that trick or treat second skill, yeah, it's AoE. I mean, work on it a little bit clearly so you get some sort of damage out on an AoE range, but I use that more as a trigger to yeah, fire the bullet, aka pumpkin pie. I didn't mention this in Noelle's because I just didn't want to. Well, that, and I don't really need to, because with Noelle's, you know, she's a debuffer. I mean, if you are going to be using her in that damage side of things, then clearly just work on the ultimate, then do the second skill, then do the first skill. So there you go. Just throw that in there. God damn it, why am I throwing Noelle stuff in here? I forgot to add it in, I'm sorry. Anyway, when it comes to the alternatives for CHARMY, I mean, look, she's an attacker, so keep it short and sweet. You know, it's gonna be. I mean, if you've got Julius's maxed out, then hey, you can throw Julius in there. I mean, for Julius's Greymore if you want to. But yeah, you got Fauna as an option. You got Julius's as an option. Basically, just giving her that all attack up. Again, you can resort to the SRs when it comes to, is it Yuno's? Yes, Yuno's. You know, get when she's using that ultimate. or luck when you're using that first skill. You can also resort to Gorgeous if you want to do that AoE Firecracker, which of course again it's the trigger. Liches, it helps you out in the crit rate department, so that way you can throw more onto the crit damage for the build, so that'll be a nice little bonus to add, and it's still giving you that increased damage. So you guys know the drill when it comes to attackers, just kind of pile on the damage side of things. Again, if you want to go to the Universal Greymoors, Breath of the Darkness, that's more of a free-to-play manner. You can then apply the Mysterious Ancient Book, more damage going off from that part. But yeah, a lot of play around room for the attacking side of things, just to kind of pile up more damage for CHARMY itself if you want go down that Greymoor route. So, but yeah, I will say this Greymoor is not too bad in the sense of healing, because you've got to also keep in mind that if you are able to max this out and the burns are being applied and you are getting dupes on CHARMY outside of maybe running other units that can also apply the burn, once that immortality pops, you can go back straight to health. Now, obviously with the immortality play for CHARMY, it is a one-time use. Yeah, imagine if this wasn't a one-time use and you had a maxed out Greymoor. Oh my god! Wait, that she would just be an unkillable unit. What am I thinking of? Jesus Christ, no, that'd be too broken. But if there was a glitch in the game, you know, that's the only way that an error could occur. But anywho, that's enough of that. That is CHARMY with a little bit of Noelle in there, just to kind of throw in a few things that I missed out on. But it is what it is. But yeah, CHARMY in a nutshell. She is a burn meta unit, so good luck on your summons if anyone's going to be summoning. But we'll get into on whether or not if she is truly a character that you really need. Because you know, I have been saying that season or the next season for Global is pretty big, and it is. Like this CHARMY and this Noelle, this season is low-key kind of stacked. But question is, do you really need them? Do you really need dupes? And I'll talk furthermore into that in a separate video. But on that note, I'll leave it there. That's CHARMY's build. Take care. Peace.